Welcome to the Heavyweight Podcast.
The Heavyweight Podcast. Heavyweight Podcast. You listen.
We can weigh in on some heavy shit, you know. What's good? This is episode 77 of the Heavyweight Podcast. I am Stutter McFly with these three guys. Go ahead and state your names for these beautiful people out here.
Start the year off and just good old Kevin Wendell. Kevin Wendell. I'm gonna start it out like that.
It's your boy, tired, exhausted, Molito.
Hey, they call me Hunter.
How were your weeks?
Exhausted.
Wet. Really wet.
That's what she said.
From work to be outside in the rain. Not a pleasant wet.
Mine was wet from work too. It was wet.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Gushy.
Happy New Year. We're here.
Wendell said he had a gushy week. It was gushy.
Yes. I drove in the atmospheric river all week.
Did it slurp?
I mean, all the cars did. They swerved.
Let me go on mine out the gutter.
Yeah. Yeah, mine was good. How about y'all's?
Oh, I wanted to say happy birthday to my oldest son. Welcome to 30, bitch.
Why you gotta be a bitch?
Wait. How are you welcome?
Oh, I'm sorry. Welcome to your 30s, motherfucker. Is that better?
Because you ain't in the 30s club no more.
He went from 29 to 30, so all of a sudden you start getting pains you ain't never had before.
I was gonna say, did you tell him officially tomorrow his back will hurt like it never hurt before? Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a bit, the whole week hasn't been exhausting. It's been rather peaceful. A lot of revelations about myself, and the last couple of days have been exhausting. And trying to fit in some last minute family fun before I go back to that wretched place I call work.
Which work?
Huh?
Your Call of Duty work or your work?
Work. I haven't even
How much do you get paid for using Call of Duty using your likeness?
Nothing.
Oh wow, you an asshole.
Other than that, I know what he was saying. Other than that, it's been fairly good. McFly.
It was a tough week for me, so I only went to work one day this week and didn't really I don't know, this week I wasn't feeling it. That's
fully understandable.
I get you.
I guess we'll get into the festivities. We'll go with the first topic. It comes from Hunter, and he asks, "Why did you Negroes get married?"
Oh, like the Tyler Perry movie?
Yeah.
No, you get to start. Go ahead.
I honestly...
No, Hunter. Hunter gets to start.
Honestly, to be real, I don't know how or why. I just kind of really clicked with her and decided that.
Hunter, you can say she put that shit down and you couldn't think about nobody else. You can say it. Well,
do you really want to go into that?
No, we don't want details, nigga. You can you can generalize.
Okay. Okay. Now, only thing I'm going to say is just flip that response.
Shut up.
Yeah. That's why I was gonna say yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, whatever. But no,
I'll ask her when I see her.
Okay, you can ask her.
I wouldn't ask the shit.
So you're saying you clicked with her, so you got married?
It was the whole click with her. We kind of vibed. It was the way she showed affection and, just her way she was, and it felt different. So I said, do it.
Felt
Put a
different
magnifying
how?
on that.
Hold on. Felt different how?
Like actually being loved by somebody.
See,
So you
that's
felt
what
like she was the only one that loved you?
Yeah. You got to remember, before her, it was
You was a hoe. We get it.
so
Hoes don't deserve, but hoes don't deserve love. Oh, damn, I just realized.
But
So what,
hoes can change.
but what you saying? So what you saying is that your wife saved you.
Yeah, I've always said that.
She's the captive saver, and you're the hoe. Wow.
I admit it all the time. She has saved me in many different ways. If it wasn't for her right now, I don't think I would be where I'm at right now. I really think I'd be in jail or just
Like
so.
you would be in jail.
100%.
So no, she always gets that credit. I always tell her that. She knows that.
You would be in jail. I'm gonna let Wendell go.
Nah, I think that's what I was looking for, because that's why I was asking him that was the click. It's like we've clicked with people before, but it's like there's a different level of love you feel where you can tell it's like unconditional. Like I know I could tell that a man was gonna rock with me like through all the bullshit. And that's
Yeah.
what you need is like a partner in that. So that is what drove me, amongst other things, but
I hear what you're saying. You just don't want to say it. I get it. Let's see. First time I laid eyes on my wife, I was a 7th grader. And I remember she was walking across the quad. She had on blue jeans and a white shirt. And it was just something different about her from then. And we didn't officially start dating until high school, but it was instant vibe, instant connection. And we've been rocking with each other since then. I knew from a young age that this was my woman.
You about to get some right there off of that statement.
no, he's gonna clip this shit up. Watch.
I just knew, and then but she'll tell you I pursued her in middle school, and it's just I wasn't. She'll tell you I wasn't her type. Like at the beginning, the love was just coming from me. It wasn't reciprocated, but I was steadfast, and I applied pressure.
I heard the instant, oh, and I was like, this is about that.
I applied pressure, man, and once I got her, and in the words of Kevin Hart, I put the key and locked that motherfucker down. And here we are, 20 years later, still going strong.
Sure. Applauds.
Simple. McFly, you're gonna answer this one?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't have an all moment. I'll just say that we rock with each other for a long time.
That's
Well, yeah, I think Mo takes the all moments.
Yeah, he took that all moment in it
how do I take the all?
I don't know. Since you saw her in elementary school,
middle school, nigga. Get it right. Get it right.
He gave her the note.
It right.
Do you like me? Yes, no, or maybe. Check one box.
I didn't do that.
And all of a sudden, things changed.
It's just funny to think that you guys have been in the school together that long.
Yes, we have.
Then he brought her a little Debbie cookie.
Since I was in 7th grade and she was in 6th grade, we went to the same school. We went to the same middle school, we went to the same high school. And we started dating when she was a freshman in high school. And we have spent 98% of our days since my sophomore year together. Think about that. 98% of my time has been spent with my wife.
He used to give her the code to his
longest
his lunch.
I think the longest we've been separated or not haven't seen each other was maybe three or 4 days.
That's love. When you give her the code to
you mean like total?
Lunch. Like yeah, total. Not total, but I mean like consecutive.
Okay. I was like, God damn, 20 years? Like, how have you guys not killed each other?
Don't get me wrong. We have our spats and our arguments like any other couple, and we just love each other. So it's always resolution there. It never gets to the point to where it's ground shaking. like violence or argument or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just
Did you ever give her your juice box?
Shit,
no,
please.
but I had a job and I was buying her lunch in high school. So
Oh, that's what's up.
Hey,
What about that rectangular pizza? Did you
no,
ever
we were on that Minute Maid drinks and the Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets?
you talking about high school? Okay, I was like,
Yeah,
who the fuck was giving kids hot pockets? But
high school.
I
High
got you. Your note was your note heavy? Like you said you gave her. It's like, so you know you're my wife, right? We are children.
No, I think we what would we do? We would talk on the phone for a little bit, and then when I finally asked her to be my girl, and she said yeah. I remember I asked I went to her house and I asked her mom if she was cool with it, and her mom was like take her. She was like take her where you need to be reading a book somewhere. And then I told her mom that day, I said, don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of your daughter. So from that day, I've taken care of her daughter.
Nigga did it again.
Mm-hmm.
So if
He
you know
went
my
and
wife,
got the confirmation from the mother. That
you know and then, and you know, obviously when I married her and she moved in with me, her father wasn't, her father wasn't around often or whatnot. So when she moved in with me, a lot of years my father-in-law didn't like me because he felt like I stole his daughter. But I was like, you wasn't around for me to ask you anything. And I wasn't going to venture out of my way.
Yeah, that's
So
if you're always together for that long, it's like you gotta chill, my G.
But his story is my wife graduated on Thursday and she lived with me on Friday, and that's not how it went. That's not how it went at all. That's not how it went at all. But yeah, man, I was just blessed to find the right woman at an early age, man. And I understand that's rare, and I don't take it for granted.
he did it 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Next
Should have
topic.
saved this question for February.
Somehow this is gonna get clipped in February. Watch. It was like, oh, and every time there's a spat. Hey, remember when I said this? You remember? You remember? This was very vocal and public. All right, next topic comes from Molito himself. It says, what's more important, truth or feelings in regards to relationships, both friendly and intimate?
You got
What?
what? Explain that.
I'm waiting.
What's more important is the to be truthful or to protect feelings. And then I said in friendship and relationship because that's two different dynamics.
I say both and both.
Yeah, that's tough.
You gotta take feelings into things. You can't always be truthful.
I think I'm big on honesty,
Hunter said lie to him.
but deliver it. You could deliver it lightly, I guess. Like not where
you said I'm not one of those, I can't deliver shit nice. I say shit directly.
No, I know. That's where I was about to say that. I was like, you don't have a.
I don't have that bone.
You don't have a pillow to sit down. What I'm about to tell you, Mike.
I am very direct in what I say, so I can't deliver things nicely.
Well, okay, take the example of if your wife came out in something hideous, would you be like, hey, you gotta change that, or you really just,
I will look her dead in her face and say that ain't working.
Now you would do that across everything.
No,
you would never take her feelings in consideration at all about anything.
If it's something she's wearing, I said that's not a good look. But then again, it's not much that she can put on that's not a good look.
No, I was saying because sometimes
that's 4.
Right.
That is 4.
I take in feelings because some things are not worth telling the truth over. So if it's going to save her feelings and the way she feels or anything, and it ain't going to be nothing off me and doesn't change anything, what's the harm in into making your significant other feel good every once you say it?
But what if that brings issues down the line?
Like I said, it depends on what it is. Like everything in life, there's too many variables in here because every scenario is different. Everything's different.
Yeah, because I think about the kids and stuff. Sometimes I'm lying.
Right. Sometimes it happens, you know.
Does
I
this
don't
look
like.
cool? Like, yep.
I don't lie. I don't lie to kids. It looks cool. It looks cool to me. Everything they do looks cool because
Yep.
that it looks cool because in their imagination, what we see is not what they see. So it looks
Okay.
cool.
Fair.
You know?
Fair. I
And
like
when
how
I
you.
don't, and when I don't want to be truthful, I say, "Oh, go show mommy."
So you just undercover doing exactly what it is without asking. So you're thinking about their feelings.
Pass the
Go
buck.
That's my child. That's different. I care about her feelings.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's where it becomes. It depends on the relationship too.
I was saying. I
Because I
mean, I'm
look
not.
at it.
I mean, not to be mean. Sorry to cut you off, Kev. Not to be mean, but I care a lot more about Phoenix feelings than any one of you Negroes' feelings. I will just bluntly tell you how I feel.
Oh, duh.
I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
look at it as the same lens I would before I tell my child something. Because
exactly.
you're an adult, you're gonna process it differently. As a child, as my daughter, I'm her father. I'm her world. So if I come down on her too hard or be too rude with her, that's gonna be detrimental to her. It's not gonna be the same to you guys. It's a different
That's
thing.
us. That's where the question. That's where I get it with the question. Where there's layers to it. Depends on who, what we talking about. Like, I can fib for certain little things with people. Like, oh yeah, that's fine, whatever. That's cool, man.
I will say
Like,
that
That's why I said there's just a balance in there.
if I don't give a fuck, I lie till I'm blue in the face. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Only thing about that is sometimes when they come back around and ask me the same question, I'm like, I don't know what I said last time. Yeah, that's why I normally just go, if you like it, I love it.
that
Ain't
is
for
You
me.
gotta get you one of those tall
clean
hats.
one.
Me?
Well, like the
Call
Abraham
you
Lincoln.
Honest Mo Lincoln.
Oh, that's funny. Abraham Lincoln.
He cannot tell a lie.
Just pass it
Oh, I
off to
lie all the
the.
time.
Hey,
I lie all the time. My wife like, did you buy that? I'm like, no. I didn't buy that.
Right.
I purchased it. It's the terminology.
So he went
Oh,
up
yeah. Your
4,
terminology has
down
been
1.
very shown right now. If you like it, I love it, you know?
It's
oh,
all
that's
about.
a good
It's
one.
about.
That's a good one. I
It's
like that one.
terminology. It's terminology. Even though two words can mean the same thing, they can also have different applications in the meaning.
Huh?
This is why knowing vocabulary and knowing, two words could be essentially the same thing, but applied differently. Could be two different
Well,
things. I'm not just here to give you examples, nigga. You should learn them skills, pay attention in school.
I'm very, very well versed in school, but I thought you meant
So we have from Mo Lincoln's standpoint is being honest, keep it a buck. Kevin, you believe in honesty with a cushion.
with feelings in yes, feelings are important.
Hold on, I
Hunter,
will say this.
you're teetering on that same belief, but there
Yeah.
should be some cushion there.
Yeah.
I will say this. The only time I will associate feelings and what I have to say is if I know you're going through a bad time and I don't want to, like, if I say, damn, if I tell them the truth, it's going to be rough. So I won't lie
So,
to you. I'll just a roundabout way say, I don't want to talk about that.
Right. If
so
you
you're
like it,
not
I
trying
love
to
it.
kick them while they're down.
Yeah, I'm not going to kick nobody while they're down. I'm not going to do that. Unless I don't like you, then I'm going to just.
Say, I feel like I don't believe you.
I believe that honesty is important, but also you have to be able to identify who you're talking to, because sometimes you can identify on the relationships you have with people, that you might have to put some cushion in there for certain people because they're not going to take, no matter how you try to present it, they're not going to take it well. And there's other people that can accept brute honesty, but I just think it's all dependent on who you're talking to, and that goes relationship or friendship wise, because there's certain people I think you're gonna come across that are gonna go, and you can tell you're like, I've dealt with this shit before. I'm not going to present this to you in any way that you're not going to take offense to it. And then there's also people for a fact that because of how you deal with them, you can be honest, but it's all, I guess, case by case basis.
I think it also matters what you're trying to get out of the conversation. Like if you're trying to get your point across, sometimes I can't be completely honest because then If I'm too honest, they're going to take it the wrong way. So I have to, in a roundabout way, let them get to the conclusion.
That's kind of still thinking about them,
Yeah.
feelings wise,
Right.
but letting them get to it themselves.
Yeah. So instead of directly telling them, you ask them a series of questions where they formulate the conclusion. So then that way it doesn't sound as harsh because you didn't say it. They realize it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like us telling management in a roundabout way how to get a problem solved, but you make them think they
Right.
came up with it.
Right. It's the same thing. You got to make it. It's just like dealing with women. You got to make it seem like it was their idea.
We're taking
Shout
Oh,
out to
he
Nick.
was up, and now he just got strike back down.
straight off the shelf.
Shout out to Nick. We see you. This isn't directed towards you. This is towards other management.
Well, we don't have to deal with Nick in that capacity, so it don't matter.
But I rock with Nick, so what up? What up? Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic. Kevin had a multitude of things, so I figured this one, when I read about it, was interesting. Family plans to sell Bruce's beach property back to LA County for $20 million. Go ahead, Kevin Wendell. Getting further detail.
Was a beach owned by black family, and then
Negroes.
eminent domain was the 20s, 50s, something like that. They bought it
colored
from
people.
them. Took it from them, and now through all the channels and everything going on, they have now gotten the beach back into the family. And then I believe like the next day they sold it back to LA for $20 million.
Yeah, but didn't they get compensated for that time that it was gone too?
Compensated.
Yeah, I mean, like they did it like a retro pay or whatever. Didn't they get some kind of money
didn't
from
see
it being
that.
taken to then? Like,
I thought they got $20 million.
I don't.
I
I don't know
Was
the
it-
detail.
But it was one of those things that it's kind of weird because I think they could only sell it to LA for $20 million, which is weird.
They couldn't get an appraisal. I'm pretty sure beachfront property was worth
It's-
$20 million.
It's worth much more than that. It's
Oh,
worth
yeah.
way much more, but LA made some sort of clause that, so it still basically feels like it's eminent domain. Feels like the same thing happened, just with more money.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It doesn't say anything about them getting anything extra than the $20 million.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I was thinking that's interesting because I was like, that's a good way they can divvy up stuff, money and reparations and stuff to families.
I just
Yeah,
like
but
the quote is, this is what reparations look like, and it's a model I hope governments across the country will follow. They won't.
it don't even. I mean, you can't even say that anyways because that land is worth way more than $20 million.
Yeah.
No,
But
I understand that.
It
so
sounds
they
like
still gotta
that
do it.
family was happy as fuck to get $20 million.
Right.
They could have kept that land, put 3 tiny houses on that land, and them tiny houses would be
Sold each house.
be
Yeah.
20 million.
That's what I was confused on. Like, damn, 20 mil, but
They took the cash grab. They
yeah,
said, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
they didn't want to deal with the paperwork or nothing.
Oh, you know what
I
it probably
think
was
that-
too? They got hit with property taxes, land taxes. You got to remember, once they got it.
Well, yeah, I can see that they have to pay. How are we gonna pay
Yeah.
property tax? I can see that.
Yeah.
But I think that's just a mentality of to me, it's quick money. They chose the quick money over the long game. Like
Yeah.
should have been, they could have been smarter about it.
Right.
Yes.
But like I said, can you imagine how much that property tax was on that once they gave it back to them? Because you know the government's going to come after you.
Property tax on $20 million is at least $1 million.
No, not the tax that they bought it from, just the property taxes on the land. Because remember, they got it back.
I'm talking about property taxes on 20.
Yeah, wouldn't it be way more than?
Yeah.
No?
That's probably like close to 100 mil for that beachfront property in California. Or not even beachfront property, beach property. Like, it's not front, it's the beach. But from what it sounds like is they're not even from here. So if they live in the Midwest or something,
that might,
like,
that
20
makes
mil is going a long way.
Yeah, if they're not, if they don't live in the vicinity, That's true.
But still, like I saw that and I was like, 20 mil?
Mammy.
Yeah.
I feel like you, Kevin. It's a setup. If they could only sell to L.A. County, that's a setup.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
That's the same thing.
if they would have been able to sold that to like a private like mortgage company or something, they would have got way more than that.
Yeah.
Way more.
Said this is what reparations looks like.
It's almost like
And
a
then-
publicity thing. Like,
And
we'll
and
let you.
it's for 20 million. It didn't say they're getting 20 million all at once, and then once they pay the tax on that 20 million, it's gonna end up being about probably
Man,
like
I need to get a
good
soundboard bag.
11, 12 they
Yeah,
might take.
Yeah.
I need to get a
Nine.
soundboard bag.
Oh, with
What?
the
'Cause that was a perfect opportunity to say, "Gotcha, nigga."
yeah. They did.
Oh, we said soundboard. Yeah, they got them.
And you
Gotcha,
know,
nigga.
never mind. I'm gonna not talk about my people like that.
Well, we just put it like this. Everybody's situation is different.
Yeah.
They might have needed the money. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Because you also got to remember everything they were going through just to even get that land switched back over too, or even get recognized for it.
But at this point, you know, we talking about great grandfather's land. We ain't talking about my dad's land, my grandfather's land. I'm like,
I was trying to find the gotcha bitch.
I get it. Yeah. So I mean,
And shit, they probably even have lawyer fees in there too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They got lawyers' fees.
I gotta get my soundboard back. Shit.
Can we get 40? Let's get 40. God damn, man.
Yeah. And the fact that they were happy with that. Anyway, that's another topic in itself. But
I'm rich, bitch.
I'll blow through that shit. Anyway, the topic I brought up, which is I see it happen a lot, but is why would we rather self-medicate instead of getting real help for ourselves as black men?
because showing weakness and being vulnerable is frowned upon in the black community. Because as a black man, you have to always be strong, 10 toes down.
What are you calling self-medicate?
Self-medicate is the people that use drugs, other vices to
masturbating.
Yeah, vigorous masturbating. But use other things instead of saying, I need to go get help. Like, I've done it. Like, where you're just like, I'm going to do this instead of actually dealing with the problem that I know is the problem. So it's like, I see it happen a lot.
It's basically doing everything but addressing the issue.
Yeah. And all it does is get swept under the rug to the point that it's so big a lump in the rug, you trip over it constantly.
Well, to answer the question, I think, like Mo said, it's just a stigma that's been not even just black men in general, like go into that whole reaching out and being vulnerable is weak. Like, for some reason, we think crying is girly when it's healthy. But I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with it because what if the self-medicating works?
It depends on what degree. Like, what I think it's the degree of how much trauma you're dealing with.
Okay.
Because
I was gonna say, is it working or is it just pushing those feelings down?
Because if it's momentarily, it doesn't fix the problem.
Yes, I get that. But I'm saying, say you self-medicate, and as you're medicating, I don't want to sound like a goddamn Dr. Seuss, but you're like meditating and focusing on what the issue is at hand while you're in that state. And I'm not saying like necessarily vices or anything like that, like smoking and stuff like that. Granted, it could be that, you know what I mean? Like something that takes you into a different state of mind to be able to focus on that.
Like my classmates talking about when they did peyote and they focused on their demons.
if they actually focused on the demons and not just fucking saw actual demons just walking around the desert. Because there's doctors that will prescribe. There's different type of doctors. You know what I mean? Like you can go see somebody that will lead you down that path.
I had a question. I guess it's an extra question on that. Because you said crying is healthy. When you cry, how long do you cry for? Because I noticed I only do like a 30-second spurt and it goes away.
Last time I cried for 15 minutes straight.
I don't know. It's been a while.
And I'm constantly told that I gotta let it out more, but I don't know how to. That's literally I cry in 30-second spurts because it's momentary, and then I think it's just how I was raised.
You literally just don't suppress the emotion.
What if it's unintentionally suppressed? It's just happening.
And that's
it's harder to.
That's something you got to work.
Yeah, it's something you got to kind of.
That's you holding back. You're basically you're not crying to release the stress or the emotion. You're basically only crying because it's built up to a point where you can't hold that portion there anymore. But when you get there, because I think that's what we all do. When I get there, I just let it go, man. I just cry. I cry until I can't.
Do you cry alone?
Yes.
No, not you, Andy.
Oh.
I've cried in front of people, but it just doesn't. It's always in that 30-second. Yeah, the 30 seconds is just.
Well, that's what I said. Do you ever cry alone?
Yeah, I have, and it still is the same. It's like it comes and then it's just all right, move on. Like
the next time it happens, just focus on what you're thinking about,
or just roll with it, man. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with crying for 30 seconds. It happens. Like you don't have a timetable to. You might have a day where it's like you're like, damn, I'm crying, but like if it comes out, it's coming out. You get what I mean? Right. So it's like you can't. Because I went through this. I told you guys I went through this weird ass stage in my life where I was just like, fuck it, let me just see how it goes. And I was crying at goddamn commercials. And that.
You're still in that stage.
Hey, I still crying at movies, bro. I start tearing up and start crying. I'm just like, oh, but I get you. But no, like I said, just think about what you're thinking about. Because sometimes you, like you said, the way you grew up, you might feel like somebody's just always going to walk in, somebody's looking at you, or, just think about it.
I mean, I cry for different reasons, man. Like, I remember from, like, being young, even with my anger issues, I would get so mad to the point where I would have anger tears, where I couldn't just control my anger. And then,
them niggas. Oh, that's the nigga you stay away from.
And then,
are you an ugly crier, Maurice?
When I think about my grandparents, yeah, I am. Yeah. When I think about the things that are near dear to me and how I miss them and how I didn't get the time I wanted with them and how I was young and dumb and missed opportunities and I think about all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I am.
Because I noticed with me, it's not even a full like crying thing. It's more like the tears flow, they stream down, and then at some point I just wipe them away and then keep going on.
Bro,
it's not even like me like making a noise.
2 years ago, when my wife was in the hospital, those 2 or 3 days, I cried like a baby every night. Every night. Because being who I am, I can only see the worst possible outcome. And I'm thinking, my wife is suffering. I got a child who's asking me, where's mommy? She's trying to understand. And I'm thinking about all this shit's going on. And I'm thinking about all the pain associated with what's going on and all the pain that could possibly come if my fears come true. I cry like a baby every night. Not in front of my wife, not in front of my daughter. I would drop my daughter off and I would cry on the way to the hospital and I would cry on the way home. And then when I walked in the hospital, when I walked in the door, I'd strong face, solid face, strong face, no tears. So like I never cried. But every day I'd bawl like a baby. You would catch me on the freeway. If you looked over at me, you'd be like, this man is struggling. Because I'd be fully tears face, snot, wiping my full on. But it's like Kevin. That's one thing Kevin always says. I agree with you. Emotion. What I've learned with emotions, you gotta let them out because when they fester and they build up, it compounds and just gets worse.
No, I had a 15-year stretch where I didn't cry at all. I like thought about it and I was like, damn, I did not cry.
I don't even want to think about that one.
I cry all the time, so I can't say anything.
We know.
So I don't. I mean, I still get the you. I try to hold back if I'm around people, though. If I'm by myself, I try to. I'll keep it under control a little bit, but around people, or if I have to walk in somewhere, I got to learn how to cut it off. Like if I'm like, perfect example, I've cried on my way to work and knowing damn well I got to get out of the car and then walk through the guard shack knowing like I'm all still teary eyed, so I have to cut it off. You know, I just have to just like, all right, done, stop, and just, you know.
Like I would just cry. I used to cry at my old job, like because my dad had just passed, and I was like, I didn't know what the fuck. I was just underneath roller coasters and then crying, and then supervisor walked by. What's wrong with you? And I'm like, this is what's going on. I'm not gonna lie to you. Either you can stand here and try to talk to me, what you can't talk this out, or just let me be. Just let me be. Crying, working on roller coasters. Fuck it. We're human.
Right.
Yeah.
Let it go. Fuck it. Take it how it is. If it's 30 seconds, Sandy, it's 30 seconds. Don't like think about it. Don't think anything of it. Like you're doing something wrong. How could you do anything wrong with your emotion?
That's not always
yours.
just let it out. And I'm like, I am. This is me letting it out. Like, what the fuck?
That's you. That's you.
I think how you feel after a cry is also important too. So if you cry for 30 seconds and you have some relief, then it was worth it.
Yeah.
I don't know where I have. I usually question where the fuck that just happened. Where that just come from. I'm like, how the fuck I was fine a second ago. What the fuck just happened?
No, you just learning to cry, nigga. It's cool. We're gonna have a cry session together one day. We all just gonna
I'm not doing that.
Hey, Kevin, you see how they all shot you down?
I just
shot myself down on that one.
I normally get through things with music or writing lyrics or whatever. So the 30 seconds is kind of like, where the fuck did that come from? I thought I dealt with this with that, and then something will spark it.
It's like I mentioned to you before. Some things you're never going to deal with, and they're always going to tear you up. They're always going to bring you to that place, and it's like you don't get over it. You just learn to deal with it better. And loss is one of those things. You never get over the loss. You just learn to deal with it better, and eventually you want to get to that point to where the tears become tears of they're no longer tears of sadness and tears of joy because you're remembering the good part of the loss of that person. You know, you're not in the stage of I lost something. You're in the stage of they're in a better place. They're released of the pain. You get to that stage and the tear you still cry. Excuse me, you still cry, but it's a different type of cry.
Yeah, I heard a song on the radio the other day, and I just started crying. And Angie walked out. She's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "This damn song," and I couldn't stop it for a few minutes.
I don't do that, nigga, because you don't hear nothing but bass.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, there's. Yeah, yeah.
I'll send you the song. You want me to send you the song, motherfucker?
Please, no.
Thank you.
No.
Shit. What did you say? If you like it, I love it.
Nothing but bass. This nigga car concussion.
He's all about the bass, no treble. He's all about the bass, no treble. But yeah, even it's weird because like yesterday I randomly just started talking about my childhood, and I always say it bugs me because when I talk about my childhood, I don't think people really realize how fucked up it was. So when I tell them, they go, "This nigga's making this up," and I'll be like, "No, it happened." But like I said, I've said it so many times, it feels like it's fake to me until someone else brings it up that was there, and they go, "Yeah, remember when that happened?" And you're like, "Yeah, I think I've said it so much. I didn't stop believing it was true because it was like, no way this has happened to a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old. You're making this up. You're exaggerating. So like talking about it yesterday, it just kind of, it doesn't make me sad anymore. I think I get more hit by it by the effect that when other people bring it up and they're there, like when my mom tries to bring up things, she gets so choked up that she can't talk about it because she can't believe it happened to me. And she feels bad or guilty. Or when my dad was alive, he would tell me times where it broke his heart, how I was as a child because I shouldn't have been dealt with that. So it's weird. Like now, like when my dad passed, there's certain stories that I can only remember and no one else will be able to acknowledge but me. And that saddens me a lot of times because it's like I remember having those personal conversations and now he's the only one that would believe me because he saw it firsthand.
Yeah, there's always fucking triggers. That's the shitty part.
Mm-hmm.
That's the shitty part. Because I'm lying to you, I was fucked up this week too, but I talked about it with my wife, which is, I never really talk about it with nobody. My mom knows all that stuff, but yeah, the triggers come up and then you deal with them, I guess. I don't know. That's the problem is, I guess that's what we tell ourselves is we deal.
Because I know that triggered on Tuesday. I don't know what the fuck it was. I was fine. It was the anniversary of my dad's death. I was fine. I was sitting in the parking lot and it was raining. It started raining more for some reason, and then Mo hit me up, and at that moment, like all of it just kind of came out of nowhere. I was just instantly in like this. I thought I was fine to go to work, and then suddenly I wasn't, and that shit hit me hard, and it came out of nowhere. And the rain reminded me of something, and like everything, and then I thought about it, and I said, I can't do this shit today. I said, I've never had that feeling before. So.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's not a great feeling at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
Well,
That's why.
I'd
That's
rather
why.
spend at
That,
the
that's
cemetery.
why I had hit you up because I understand what that day is like. Like you gotta. I have 3 days like that, and it's weird. Like it's like you said, you wake up just fine, but then when you think about it, and then you start thinking about it, then you start reminiscing, and then out of nowhere, it's like a stack of books hit you, like right in the chest, and it's like I was perfectly normal 3 seconds ago, and now like this weight is unbearable. I'm being held down by like 1,000,000 pounds, and that's why I was like I understand what that's like, and that's just that shit is it sucks.
No, it's rough.
It
Real
sucks.
rough. That's I guess I can share that with you. That's where I was at Monday. That's where I wanted to talk about the football stuff. The Hamlin, the kid who got CPR in the field, because that had like fucked me up for the watching it. Not from yes, because we're watching a life, but like anytime anything happens with CPR or anything like that, it always reverts me back to my dad. So it's like that shit just because we had to do all that shit. And I'm like, the hardest thing to do is to perform CPR on somebody and it doesn't work, especially when it's your loved one. So I was just like, I think I was watching this closer than anything else, like celebrity wise, you know what I mean? Like, cause not to sound insensitive, but when celebrities have things going on, I'm like, I feel for them, but I got my own shit. But that one kind of like kicked me in the chest and like brought all those emotions back. So that's why I had to talk to my wife. I was like, yeah, I can't watch this. I gotta go upstairs or whatever. So that's what I'm saying. There's always like triggers like randomly. Like that's a random trigger, you know what I mean? So
It's not random
Mine is
because
happening right now. Thanks.
hey.
No. I'm just saying because what hit me was you guys all have dates. I don't have dates.
Yeah, that's rough, man. That's
You don't
So
have
when you
dates,
guys are,
or you don't remember the date.
I don't remember. I really don't remember. I just celebrate the birthday and just leave it at that because I really don't remember the date.
The weird thing, and I realize this, it's like it always seems to happen on another date. That like that same day has another meaning. Like for instance, like the day my grandmother passed is also one of my friends' birthdays. So I know every year when I say, "Hey, happy birthday," it's also the day I cried the most of my life. And it's the same the way with my grandfather. And it's weird. It's weird that things like that happen. And it's like, and I thought I was like, oh, maybe it's just an anomaly. But then again, it happened. It happened to Stutter. And it's like, it's weird that his father's passing is on my wife's birthday. So it's like I don't understand why this happens, or maybe it just happens. Maybe it just happens to me, or I can always associate, the passing of a loved one with. But I kind of some part of me thinks like it's full circle. Like we lost a life on the day we celebrate another year of a life. Like it's like maybe part of their energy was transferred to the other one to keep the other one going. I don't know. I try to find meaning in it, but it's just to me it's weird that's a thing. It's weird. It's weird. Now I understand people pass every day, every second someone's passing. I understand that, but it's just weird that I've been able to make those connections, especially out of the people who mean the most to me.
That's 5. Oh,
no, it's 3.
I'm one of the people that mean the most to him.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
I had to lighten the mood because that got deep.
We heavyweights.
Yeah,
we just want to have a shit.
this is weighing in some heavy shit. That's the real. So let's see. Let's get on to the next topic. Shit. This face recognition shit.
Oh,
Anywho.
excuse me.
I guess I'll go on to Hunter's next question. Why are marriages not lasting as long as our grandparents?
Because divorce court is easier. You don't know what you're talking about.
Who whispered that?
Divorce court's way easier. It's like the
Well,
generation.
when you say easier, when you say easier, what do you mean by easier? Is it easier to do it, or is it easier for people to finally do it?
Oh no, women can do it now. They were like back then. They
Right.
was getting boo-bopped.
Yeah,
Right.
Like, you want to leave me? Like, and so not to be insensitive, but that's
This question
Right.
has many answers.
It does. It really does. That's why I hate. That's why I hate when people try to make it so simplistic, like, because people don't care as much as they used to back then. It's way deeper than just
That's a
Word.
culture.
Kobe sweater.
no.
Well, I will say this.
yeah.
My personal take on why marriages don't last is the number one reason is that people don't take marriage seriously anymore. And I think a lot of people just get married to say I'm married. And a lot of people get married for the wrong reasons. They get married for status. They get married for a comfortable life. They get married because they think that, this will make life easier or whatever the case may be. They get married for the wrong reasons. I don't think people necessarily marry for love anymore. They marry because the marriage is going to benefit them in some way. And then also I think people get married without really knowing who they're with. Like I've said a million times, you don't really know who. I don't care. I don't care if you've been together 3 months or 3 years. If you've never been under the roof with that person and actually had to cohabitate and navigate through finance and stuff like that, you don't know that person. Because once responsibility and liabilities come involved, that people change. They're not the same. It's
Yeah,
different
but
because right.
enough.
Right, but
Back
like you
then,
said though,
they weren't living together.
right, they
getting
weren't
married.
living together.
Right. I'm
No.
talking about now. Now back
Now.
then,
Oh,
back
now
then
we got all kinds of reasons.
Yeah, that's what I said. But back then, where especially for black people, it was like, hey, we got to come together and put these two incomes together, or we got to come together. And grandpa got the job, and grandma ain't driving, and she only go as far as a bus can take her, or as far as her feet can take her. It was a different ball game, So that's why, and I agree that some, like, men in the 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, it was heavily in our favor because we were 9 times out of 10 the only earner, and we had all the options and whatever the case may be. But now I understand, like, now in today's age, where things are more equal than what they've ever been. I just feel like
What was
now
the statistic?
people just marry for status.
The statistic, what is it? That 70% of marriages now, women initiate divorce now,
80% of
and then
marriages.
it goes up if she's successful, etc. So if
It
she's a
says that
businessman.
there was a statistic that said that 90% of women get divorced if they make more money than their husband. That right there should tell you everything.
I will say I can't. I have examples, and Mo knows the example, but I'm not gonna say names. But I know of a relationship where it was clearly the marriage was based on a flex, like it was based on a situation where you can tell if you're actually paying attention that this person got married to be able to say to all the people that were looking down on her, I can do this shit better than you can. Like if I decided to get married, you bitches would envy me kind of situation or scenario. And now even in that situation, now you're seeing the other shoe drop because it's now okay. I did that. Now I don't want to be married anymore. So it's like for them, you can clearly tell that it wasn't a serious thing. It was more of a flex. It was the whole being to say I did this better than you guys did, but now that I did it, on to the next. So I can definitely say now I can see a lot of times where it's more of a flex or status to be able to say, oh, they envy me for what I'm doing, as opposed to actually wanting to be there.
And people don't, I think the other thing is people don't understand how important loyalty is. And if you think that you're about to get married and everything gonna be sunshine and rainbows, you should just stay single, because marriage is
Yeah.
something that you have to constantly work at. Because you're as people, we're constantly evolving. So if we're two people, we're constantly evolving, which that means the relationship's going to constantly evolve because interests are going to change. Um, lifestyles may change. Appearances will change because everybody comfortable weight. All this will change. So it's like you have to work through all these things, and on top of that, what matters the most is loyalty. Um, something new will always be appealing, but just because it's new doesn't mean it's better. People think that the grass is greener. The grass is greener from your point of view because you're not tending to your own grass. Sometimes you just need to tend to your own goddamn grass. That's the issue. And you'll never be happy if you're not happy within. And if you're not if you're not putting in the work to be happy in your own situation, another situation is not going to make you happy either. Because yeah, it's going to be good at the beginning, but the second issues and problems get involved, are you going to go look for somebody else? So at what point do you end that cycle of constantly trying to rinse and repeat until you find something that sticks long term? The truth of the matter is, whether people want to acknowledge it or not, you have to work. You have to put in time and effort into your marriage, just like you when you go to work, like anything else in life.
I think a lot of people, like you said, don't put the effort and time, or they don't realize how hard it is to have a marriage. They just don't realize. And that's why they said when you hit that 5-7 year mark is where there's a lot of divorces too at, because they're really starting to realize what it's like to live with somebody, be with somebody, and everything else. No, but the work.
I always say it, and the statement is always, it's like if it was easy, everybody would do it. There's a reason why it's not.
But
And I think
to
people
your
realize.
truth, that might be why we all get married and get divorced, because we think it's easy. And then when they do it and they realize, holy shit, marriage is a bitch.
I just
Yeah.
I just think people get married for the wrong reasons,
Yeah.
and I think those are the ones that fail.
I also think people get naive and they're in that honeymoon eyesight. Like they go, "Oh my God, I'm in love, so that's all we need is love." And it's like that's not. You don't want to build just on love. You want to be able to understand what's going to be needed in the long run. You can't just go, "Oh, we're gonna go off of love and and a hope and a prayer." And they're like, and you get the shit gets real, and you're like, "Well, fuck love because bills need to be paid." Like
I know people who's been more loyal to a McRib than their marriage.
yeah,
Nigga, I love fishing, but I still got to put the reel out there. Like I ain't gonna just catch fish with love. You know what I'm saying?
but and people really they thrive on it's just love. It's like, and then they hit that real shit, and they're like, it's more than love. Like you have to put in some effort in this, and it's on both sides, but it has to be addressed that it's more than love. It's you have finances to think about. If you have families built, now you got to think about their futures. Like it's not just it's love. Like
you can't build a relationship solely on love because love is an emotion. Emotions are constantly changing.
Yeah.
Because you can love a person one day and then they go through a series of events where you may not like who they are, but that doesn't mean that they're and then at that point it doesn't necessarily mean that love's going to maintain your interest in that person. That's why I say you have to work at your marriage because loyalty will always trump love. That's
loyalty will bring love back because you could probably fall in and out of love and all that, and still
the same effort that you can put up with love, hate could be a more powerful emotion. You can instantly turn love into hate.
But also I feel like when it comes to hate, especially in marriages and relationships, hate is only developed once actions and things have gone on so long and never been addressed.
That and in an instance where you realize someone's not who you thought they were.
Well, I get that. I get that.
That's where we're talking about like where people have never lived with someone.
Yeah.
And then they fucking end up in a situation where they go, "Oh shit, I did not know you were like this."
That's just like when you have a lot of dudes say, "Well, as soon as I got married, I got sex less frequently. Stopped cooking for me all the time." Like she completely changed. And I've seen situations like that where like once they get the ring, once they get the paperwork, they're a different person. It's like this is not what you advertised to me before, and I get it.
And sometimes in that too, I think people don't look at that aspect too, as they're looking at that stuff, and then they didn't realize when they got married that they got a lot more responsibilities, and then you're like, "Hey, nah, honeymoon's done, motherfucker. You got responsibilities."
Yeah. And then throwing out there, well, we have sex still. It's like that's
not enough.
Sweet.
You still have sex. It's like that's. We're trying to build something,
man. Yeah.
With that being said, this has been episode 77 of the Heavyweight Podcast. Thank you for rocking with us. Happy New Year. It's on and crackulating like hot butter popcorn.
Bitch.
Butter popcorn. Wow.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Much love. Comment, subscribe, like.
All that. This is it. I guess
all of it.
Peace.
Kevin doesn't have any new nicknames.
No names for the people.
No, not to start the win. They gotta know. They gotta know.
You want to start the year OG, huh?
Start it off. They're gonna be like, all right, that guy's Kevin, and then they'll have to figure it the fuck out. They're gonna have to come back to fucking the first episode of the year to figure out who the fuck I am.
It ain't hard to figure out who you are with that laugh. It's very unique.
Yeah, they used to tell me I sound like Barney Rubble at the old job. I was like, fuck you guys.
And we out. We appreciate y'all. We out. Peace.
If you can hear the sound of my voice, you're a real one for sticking to the end. Just want to thank you again for listening and stay tuned for the next episode. 40 out.